Oh, now I got to click got it here. Bloop, bloop, bloop. There I am. Hello.
Hi, Marge. Welcome to Kind Soups.
Welcome to everyone on the call. We have a lovely soup today that is a vegetarian, well, it's a pescatarian soup. It says, if you use the Worcestershire sauce, it has anchovies. However, Deb promises to give us a vegan alternative.
Indeed. I looked up, and if any of you are interested, you can replace Worcestershire sauce with a little combination of ketchup, soy sauce, and white vinegar. And I will put the, I know, I'm excited. I'm going to do it too, Joyce. We'll see what happens. Hey, how nice to meet you. We're nice to have you join us today.
And also,
who's in there? Oh, there's someone new.
Yeah, I was trying to say hi.
Hi, Neha. Huh.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you.
We're glad you're cooking with us today.
I'm glad too.
okay. Everyone should have started out, if you want to use butter, use butter. I happen to have used plant-based butter, but it's not really going to make much of a difference, hey, Lynn, because if you use the Worcestershire sauce, you're still using and I don't know how you label that soup. If I have the anchovy, do I label it as pescatarian? Do you label it?
I actually wouldn't, because think of, I would, to make it kind of more user friendly, I would say contains anchovies if you use the Worcestershire. But you know, I'm really going to try this alternative. It says it's a vegan alternative and it gets rid of the anchovy mess. So I'll put I put the link into the site, but I'll also put in the exact amounts as soon as I can look them up. So for Lynn and Neha, it's just ketchup, white vinegar, and what did I say? Soy sauce.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to know the mix. I think I'll do it too. There's no reason not to. I have all those things.
Yeah, let's try it out. Why not? I'll look it up and tell you what the exact amounts are.
And I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. I mean, you have all that tomato in there. You might even be able to leave the ketchup out. I mean,
true.
What are we talking about?
Ways to replace the Worcestershire. And so I found, and I linked it in the chat, that not only if you don't want to buy Worcestershire and you don't have it, this also allows it to be vegan. So
Worcestershire is not vegan?
well, it's got anchovies in it.
Oh.
right. So the questions
I had no idea.
Asking was, would you even label something with anchovies as vegetarian? Because it's not, because it has anchovies.
Right.
Worcestershire house.
And you start throwing things in like pescatarian, and people say, what does this mean? A tablespoon of ketchup, a tablespoon of white wine vinegar.
Oh, not white vinegar, white wine.
And a half of soy sauce. Okay.
Oh, so, but if you use white wine, then you put.
Okay, my Worcestershire, has vinegar, molasses, cane sugar, salt, garlic powder, natural flavors, organic spices.
That doesn't sound like anchovy.
You have a vegetarian version of Worcestershire sauce.
It's Trader Joe's.
Oh, organic. Okay. Organic.
The famous Leon Perrins even says on it, it's, you know, it's kosher with fish under it. So.
Oh, yeah, no, interesting. I never knew that. Well, so I guess I can use this, but this recipe also calls for butter. So
plant-based butter.
I'm not using butter.
Okay.
Yes, you could easily use, there's no reason that you couldn't use oil, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm using.
And if you use butter, you can label it vegetarian. And look at that, someone's got B8. Very nice, Cheryl.
Tomato juice, but I'm assuming this will work, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I bought tomato sauce. I couldn't.
All of these things will work. What do we know
why?
about soup? Soup
Because
is forgiving.
I couldn't handle all the sodium in tomato juice.
Okay, I just finished my whatever. I was saying before many of you got on, I am going to do a combination of, I have tomatoes that I roasted. I can't really show them. Can I? There they are. Aren't they lovely? I'm going to throw them in. And I'm also going to use a can of tomatoes, can of fire roasted tomatoes. Oh, we gotta stop.
Okay, so soup.
There.
Okay.
Where was- So be careful with your fire roasted tomatoes. A couple of weeks ago, I was using them in a recipe and one of my tomatoes had a stem on it. And I didn't realize that till I started eating it. And I bit into something and thought, oh my God, there's a piece of plastic in my, it was tomato sauce that I made with it. And it turned out to just be a stem that was still attached to the tomato. So I called Hunt's and I yelled at them and they sent me coupons, which was very nice of them, but it was still a little disconcerting. So as you pour your tomatoes in, if you're using canned tomatoes, look for those stems. Okay? It's very quiet. Everyone must be very busy cooking.
Got a lot to do here, Marge.
Well, if you have all your stuff prepped, it's not so bad. You know, I'm looking at all of this. I guess simmer covered 30 minutes. Okay. I was thinking that it wasn't enough time, that the carrots in particular are not soft. But I suspect as they simmer, when they're simmering for 30 minutes, they should be fine for the blending. Oh, we have a mystery attendee down on the bottom, Deb.
Who's that?
A phone number. I don't know, just a phone number. See it?
Yep. Welcome, whoever is 301-922-7604. crazy noise, Marge?
Was there a question, Deb?
Yeah, there's like a goofy kind of high-pitched whistling noise. What's that? Nobody knows?
I don't hear anything.
Okay, never mind. Now you can all worry about me.
I
but
hear a bird outside. You know, you're up in New York and you missed this. We just had a lovely little storm come through. It was bright and sunny. Then we had a storm and now it's bright and sunny again.
So you know what happened here? They were expecting the same thing at the same hours, and they even closed off the bridge and tunnels to like big vehicles in anticipation of this terrible storm. Nothing happened here. So far, nothing's happened.
Well, I didn't think anything was going to because it completely was beautiful and sunny and David had come back from running and he's sitting outside. He's like, the air is on.
Uh-huh. He knows his stuff.
Yeah, well, you know, they let school out early in Prince Howard County.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
canceled after school activities,
Wow.
but yeah, the sun's out.
You know what? For whatever it's worth, I just tasted the homemade Worcestershire. It's delicious.
Okay.
I don't know if, it's going to do what we want it to do, but I think it's great. I'm excited.
Okay, I have reached the point where I've added the roasted tomatoes and cooked them. I'm now going to add my sun-dried tomatoes, my stock, and my tomato juice. And I am using tomato juice. Sorry, kids, I'm not using B8. It's going to be unhealthy. It's going to have too much sodium. Gosh, you're making me crazy. It's only 3 cups. I have in the past used Bloody Mary mix when it calls for tomato juice, and that's really usually very good because it makes it much spicier. Which is probably why.
Marge, for this recipe or just in general?
Not this recipe, for other recipes where we've had to use tomato juice.
Uh-huh.
If I've had it left over, and because I always think that it's summertime and I'm going to make myself Bloody Marys and sit outside, and
You're too busy cooking soup.
I don't know why I'll have 1 or 2 Bloody Marys and then I'll have like this whole bottle of Bloody Mary mix. So I have to use it for something.
I think we never celebrated your birthday. We ought to all come over and have a Bloody Mary party on your front.
That's what we should do, right? We did celebrate my birthday. I cooked soup on my birthday.
Yeah.
I cooked harshawi soup. I don't remember which one, but one of them. Okay, I've got my tomato juice in. What am I missing? Oh, okay. Sun-dried tomato stock and tomato juice. I bought these cute little jars of sun-dried tomatoes. Aren't they adorable?
Beautiful.
They're really cute.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, they smell great.
But Marge, are you adding the oil?
Oh yeah.
The whole dried tomatoes and the oil.
I don't see why not. It says since it's specified to get them packed in oil, it doesn't say to drain them. So yeah, I think this soup is going to be very good, and you're going to have all that rice in it that's going to absorb.
Oh, that's
everything.
true. That's true. The rice will do it.
Yes, I might do this. They're so cute. It's, maybe I'll just put in the oil from one of the jars because I have 2 little jars. How many ounces am I supposed to be doing? Oh, you know what? I only need to use one of the jars because it says 6 sun-dried tomatoes and there's more than that in this jar. That's very good. Where is that good?
Spanish onion compared to like a Vidalia or any other onion? Anybody know?
What was that? I missed the question.
It said to use a Spanish onion, and I'm not sure what a Spanish onion is compared to any other onion. Not that I mean, I know I don't have to have a Spanish onion, but I was just curious what it is.
I've looked it up in the past and I've used a white onion in its place. Today I didn't have a white onion, so I used a Vidalia and a half of a yellow onion. I mean, it's an onion. It's going to taste fine. Now I hear that squeak. What is that?
So the tomatoes that are roasting in the oven, I see that they have wrinkly skin and I see a little bit of char coming on there. Is it time to get it out then?
I had mine in, what did it say for 50? I had mine in for about under 45 minutes.
Okay.
I didn't leave them in the full 50. I would take them out. If
Okay.
you know, you're trying to just soften them and get them to get a little of that char. That's why I used some from the oven that I made, and then some that I made with the that I got from the can. I
Okay.
mixed it up because I never follow a recipe. Me leading a soup session is ridiculous. No, I can't do this well. Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
I hear that squeak.
I think that might be if somebody has like a phone and a computer on. Something like that.
Okay. I've reached the point where I'm simmering, but I have to mix up my exciting Worcestershire sauce. Let me get my, I have this, I need my ketchup. What is it that real ketchup has in it that makes, does anyone have a jar of real ketchup when you get to a breaking point, like Heinz or something?
Yeah, I mean, it's tomato concentrate from red tomatoes, vinegar, high fructose corn syrup, salt, spice, onion powder, flavoring.
Okay, so it doesn't have Worcestershire sauce in it. It doesn't have anything non.
I think it's basically sugar.
Yeah, well, see, now when I always get this, we get this fake, you know, this veggie ketchup, which has no sugar in it at all. And it has tomato puree, apple, which is what you get your sweetness from, and a vegetable puree of carrots, butternut squash, and spinach, vinegar, salt, onion powder, and allspice. And no one knows the difference, and it has no sugar in it. So I'm going to make that. I'm going to make my Worcestershire sauce now. Let's see how I do.
So I have like a whole bunch of of tomatoes that I roasted, but not 24 of them. And I mean, should I use like any canned tomatoes also, or just stick?
Well, it was supposed to be 12 plum tomatoes. So you mean 24 halves? It said 12, not 24.
Oh,
No, I doubled the recipe, Marge. 10
Oh.
was not enough for KindSoups. I doubled it.
Oh, you did not tell me that. I'm
I
working.
snuck it in there, baby.
Oh. So here's what I did. I'm making a half recipe apparently, which looks like it's a pretty good sized pot. And it is 12 tomatoes. And so I think I used, Cheryl, 5 or 6 tomatoes plus 1 can of fire roasted tomatoes. So yeah. Very sneaky. So you guys had to deal with 10 carrots?
Yep.
Oh,
I don't really get the carrots anyway.
well, I think it brings sweetness to it. I'm not sure. So anything I say, you should ignore me because I'm telling you the wrong amount.
Exactly.
Tablespoon of ketchup. Okay. A tablespoon of white wine vinegar. Of course, the downside of the soy sauce is please remember to label your soup that it contains soy because that's a major allergen for some people. And hot sauce, okay. Okay. Sounds like we have crickets on the line.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. But I'm sitting here simmering for 15 minutes, so someone needs to tell me a story.
How about Lynn? Lynn's been traveling again, I think.
Oh, has she?
I think I saw on on Facebook she's been traveling more.
Where'd you go?
I 2 weeks ago was in Ann Arbor for Judith's 2020 graduation.
Mazel tov.
Thank you. So 2 years late, we got to hear from Dr. Fauci. That was exciting.
That is exciting.
Yeah. So, wow, it's sunny and raining at the moment. Okay. So, you know, it was a little weird going back and
Yeah.
kind of mixed emotions. I wouldn't say there's closure, but
Yeah.
you know, we got to sit for 4 hours in that giant stadium and beautiful weather. So that was fun.
And a big family reunion, right?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I think that was the best part of it was just all, you know, being able to be healthy and together,
Yeah.
have a set of grandparents that could travel and be there. And, you know, there was the graduation, you know, sort of happened a while ago. The best part, honestly, unlike an actual graduation, we didn't have to worry about her getting a job because she's had one for 2 years. And even better, we didn't have to move her out of a dorm or an apartment because I did that 2 summers ago.
Right.
So it was very relaxing. That was nice. And then this past weekend, I was in Phoenix for my cousin's son's bar mitzvah. It was 104 degrees. And it was fun, but very, very warm. Very hot. I'm still hydrating. So that's all I got.
That's very exciting as you went places, you know, for those of us, you know,
I know.
my big trip up to Germantown to drop off the soup and then with the stop on the way back at Costco in Gaithersburg, you know,
Well, that's like going around the world.
that's, you know, this is where I go. I don't go anywhere.
Well, I don't want anyone to have the impression that I actually travel a lot because, you know, that's pretty much it. But it is weird traveling. I mean, I was astounded in Phoenix, you know, you wouldn't even know there was ever a pandemic or, you know, the airport was mobbed. The plane was packed both ways, most people not wearing masks in the airport or on the airplane. I did. You know, I didn't wear it throughout the rest of the weekend, but certainly in those situations. And it's, you know, travel is always stressful by air, but even more so.
What did Dr. Fauci say? I'm interested in.
You know, he was good. I think everyone was a little, you know, concerned, like Ann Arbor is very liberal, but you know, Michigan is Michigan. So not everyone was potentially a fan of his. And there were some protesters outside the stadium. We heard all these horns honking. I didn't see them, so I thought it was people celebrating for the graduates, but they were protesting Fauci. The big takeaway was stand up against distortion of reality and lies, and you know, don't be silent, which, you know, I was glad that he encouraged them to do that, even if he wasn't necessarily able to do that during his tenure in the White House. But it was, you know, it was kind of a good message of, I wouldn't say defiance, but, you know, just not letting people get away with distorting reality and normalizing like falsehoods. So that was the overarching message, but he talked about sort of the usual, you know, follow your passion and, you know, all the stuff you would expect someone to say to graduates.
Yeah, but the interesting thing is that, like you said earlier, they're graduates, but they're graduates who graduated.
Right. It's kind of a hard speech to give, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
You know, he didn't really focus on COVID at all, which was kind of nice. I mean, he spent a fair amount of time, you know, on the bigger message. He also talked about like his career, and, you know, he said that, I forget, initially I don't even know if he was doing, I'm not sure what he was doing. It was something very obscure. And then he started, you know, hearing about this bizarre virus, you know, HIV, which I don't think had been named. And for whatever reason, like nobody was paying attention to it. And he just became fascinated by it and decided to completely switch gears in terms of his, you know, his work and his professional life, and to you know, everyone was like, why are you spending time on this? It's not anything. It's not gonna be anything. It's not important. And, you know, lo and behold, he pursued, you know, the study of HIV and AIDS. And I mean, talk about one person making a, you know, kind of following what he believed in and not just listening to everybody, and changing the course of his career and the world. So I thought that was good advice. I didn't say it very articulately. I'm
sure it was, you know, I'm sure it was wonderful. You know,
not to mention he's just a delightful person, you know, and so it's just not, you know, he's very unassuming and gracious, and you know, he got an honorary doctorate, and he was so excited. You know, he's a big sports fan. I think baseball is his sport, but he was so excited, you know, to have the doctorate now, be able to, like, you know, say go blue, and be legitimate when he says that. So he was tickled, and that was nice to see.
Okay.
So that's all I got.
Okay.
A lot of eating.
Okay. Well, I will tell you the other travel that I do, in addition to the Gaithersburg Costco and the Germantown Hub, is I go to the Potomac Library. And for those of you who are not aware, the Potomac Library is closing on May 22nd. Okay.
Closing for what?
Renovations, 10 months, possibly a year. So
Wow.
If you have any books that are on hold to be picked up there, you need to transfer them to Davis or wherever you want them to transfer to.
So they won't set up like a temporary thing or anything?
No, 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 you got to transfer them out. I've been busy. I have, 20 some odd books on hold,
Mhm.
and I'm busy transferring them.
Marge, there's still 20 soup books that you haven't read?
I returned one yesterday. It was Barbara Kafka's book, and she's like a real soup maven. Her recipes were just so intense. They were, I'm not doing fine dining. Look at that. There's Lisa. I'm not trying to do fine dining through soup. I'm trying to create nutritious soups that will benefit the people that we are serving, our community, as opposed to,
Mhm.
this broth with that broth with the touch of whatever. And I just looked at some of those recipes. I said, this book it's too many soups and it's not worth it. So I returned that yesterday, but I have returned the New England Soup Factory book, which is the book that this soup came out of, I think.
Yes.
Oh, yes, it is. That's a great book. It has some very interesting recipes in it. And I was telling Deb at the beginning of the call, I took out a book, an Eating Well book. Eating Well is I guess a magazine, soups. And there are several recipes in here that I was intrigued by. And I made one of them over the weekend, bean and barley soup that also had a can of fire roasted tomatoes, and it was just delicious. So I think we should do some soups from here. And that's what's up.
Well, if I can add in that this recipe is excellent. I made it this afternoon. And I was late signing in. I had full intention at 5:30, but I had a gentleman, Aziz, come by to pick up some things to deliver to a family, and he got the first quart of soup, the giveaway.
That's great.
And I did the cultural, obligatory kind of thing of, would you like to come in? Okay, what would you like to drink? And put the chocolates out. Yes, so that, and it was within a 30-minute span time, So anyway, a very nice man. And I told him he will get through it.
He needed to hear it. He had a rough day. So thank you for spending time with him, Lisa.
Yes, it was. He's a very dear person. So now hopefully he has a delicious dinner to enjoy.
I hope so. Did you get to see the pictures of those little twins of his?
I did. I saw the wife, the twins, the little girl. He was a fighter pilot. And he was separated from the family. He was in the northern part of Afghanistan when the doo-doo hit the fan. And otherwise he would have been able to leave with them. But here we are. They're back there and he is here. But he is continuing to do the needful and fight the good fight. And sometimes just, I get the sense needs a little pat on the back. And I told him he's doing well. And look how far he's come.
He calls me many evenings to say goodnight, Miss Debbie. Miss Deborah. Many mornings to say, you have a wonderful day today.
Oh
my, thank you. I think,
yeah, no, I mean, you can imagine these people lost their
yes,
everything.
Yes. And he has just a very, I think, encouraging disposition, and the fact that he himself is helping others is such a really, it speaks to him as a person. So it's very nice.
Well, Miss Lisa, what you missed is that I didn't realize that Deb had doubled the recipe. So I'm busy talking about things I'm putting in, only to find out that Deb, because I'm working from a piece of paper.
Mine made about, I think, 7.5 quarts.
It's a lot of soup, this thing. Yep.
Well, you might have tried 1.5 times.
1.5 would have worked, but I was in a big rush. Sorry.
Okay.
But this is, I mean, it really is, I enjoyed it. I had a bowl. I gobbled it down just now. It was lukewarm, but very tasty. I used the brown rice, and that really had nice texture in the soup.
they were talking earlier about possibly using barley.
I did barley and I've tried it and I'm very happy.
Okay.
Oh, and Lisa, we also came up with a vegan alternative to Worcestershire. So that's in the chat if you want to ever try that out. I thought it came out great. It's just
Yeah.
ketchup, white wine vinegar, and soy, with a little hot sauce added in.
Now, of course, what we also found out, I think from Lynn, was that she has Trader Joe's Worcestershire sauce,
True, that's
which
even
is vegan.
even
Well,
better.
it doesn't say vegan, but it doesn't say anything about anchovies or fish or anything. So the only questionable thing is natural flavors. But I assume if that was anchovies, they would have
I would
said,
think if it was any kind of,
yeah,
fish
and it's-
product, they would.
it's labeled, USDA organic, so I don't think they can
Huh. lie
lie about what's in there.
Any chance of
Lynn, this is 2022. They can lie about anything.
No, sorry.
is it
You're
kosher?
right.
Any
Silly.
chance it's kosher? Sometimes Trader Joe's stuff is, and that would probably mean there's no meat in it.
Yeah, it just didn't say one way or the other, but no mention.
Yeah, I would think that if there was any kind of fish product, it would be labeled as such. So
I've had Lee and parents for years and I never noticed that.
I learned that there were anchovies and Worcestershire sauce when we hosted an English teacher who was American from Japan, and he was vegan. And so that was quite a long time ago, and Joseph was in middle school, and that threw me for a loop because vegan cooking
knew?
wasn't anything new. And I will admit that I had that bottle of Worcestershire sauce over that pot of vegetable soup and was shaken away. And then it was the big whoops.
I so rarely use it that I think I had the same bottle of Lee and parents like forever, and I took it out one time to use it and realized it was 12 years old or something, and so I must have run out to get this at Trader Joe's.
I think it's sort of like a fine wine, it just ages in the bottle.
Well, it was really old. Really, really old. Whenever I have hear about Worcestershire sauce, I'm reminded of these hamburgers that my mom used to make when I was a kid, and I'm quite sure they were from the Julia Child cookbook, because my mom, sort of cooked everything from there, and they were very fancy hamburgers, and we always called them French chef hamburgers, and they had Worcestershire sauce in them.
You know what? Did you get the River Falls cookbook during the pandemic, Lynn?
No.
You know about it? Somebody had a turkey burger recipe in it, and Jesse's made it for us probably 5 times, and it's got Worcestershire and
Really?
delicious turkey burger. Yeah.
Yeah. Fancy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna
Has
start.
anybody been watching or watched the Julia, the show on it's really good.
Yeah.
I think I
It's
finished
really good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I love that actress. It's a great cast, and BB Newworth and what's his name? I forget the name of the guy who plays her husband. But the actress is from shoot, what was that show? I can't remember. Darn it.
Hey, Marge,
Yes, sorry, I was outside harvesting basil. What's up?
Marge, do you think you're gonna be putting cheddar and croutons on top as a garnish?
Am I? No,
Okay,
I won't I don't like croutons, so I won't put croutons on anything. I was wondering about the cheese, though. I don't know. Does it not need it?
No, Lisa, did you think I tried it? I think it's perfect. I mean, I like croutons, but cheddar just seems like another weird flavor to add.
No, you know what? With the croutons and the cheddar, I was thinking grilled cheese and tomato soup all in one.
And that's exactly what it says in the recipe.
Uh-huh.
It is exactly what the people from
Yeah.
New England Soup
I'll
Factory
tell you,
That
what I
said-
like on tomato soup We often use fresh grated Parmesan cheese
Mm,
on top of tomato soup. And that really is a very nice flavor combination.
okay. Okay.
The soup I made this weekend was with the fire roasted tomatoes and the barley and the cannellini beans, had fresh grated Parmesan as well. It really was good. We're having it for dinner tonight, the leftovers, as opposed to the 2 quarts that are in the freezer.
Probably season this.
Deb, I fully admit to not remembering whether I entered my soups last week. Did I enter my soups?
I don't know, but I will let you know. Actually, I'll
Thank
look it up
you.
now so I don't forget. to. Hold on.
Okay, I really think I didn't, but I could be wrong.
All right, we'll find out.
Joyce has vanished from the screen.
How come?
I know, I've lost you.
Where are you?
Oh,
Let's see.
we hear you.
Okay. I know, I don't know what I did.
Are
but
you
I'll be
coming over tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I'll be over there tomorrow about 8:45.
Okay. I need to know who's bringing soup tomorrow. Lisa?
I'm going to make an honest attempt to get it in the freezer tonight and get it over there tomorrow by 9:30. I'm usually there, what, 9:15-ish?
Yeah, 9:15, 9:30, whatever.
Okay.
I'm not doing a pickup at Har Shalom. And remember, we cooked soup, for those of you who were paying attention, we cooked soup on Mother's Day and all these people said, oh, I can't cook. So I said, okay, fine, well, we'll do the same soup in 2 weeks so that next Sunday we're doing the same soup. And then all these people showed up who would cook the soup on their own. It's like, okay. So we'll make the same, it was a good soup, so there's no reason not to make it again.
Okay. Yes.
That was, that was the one with the cream in it, with the light cream, which was a nice soup. My husband liked that one too. All of a sudden, he's decided he likes these soups.
So listen to this. Am I muted? No. Marge, you dropped off 7. How's that possible on May 2nd?
Yeah.
7? It's usually like 57.
No, but they're my soups only. So I may have done 7.
Oh, right.
That was on the 2nd.
And then nothing since then, Marge.
Okay. So then the 9th, so last week I did 15 soups, and that's what I didn't enter. So
All right,
I'll
so you
enter
can do that now. And anybody else who's
Wait.
forgotten to,
Mhm.
whether you give them to people that you know and love or people who you don't know and love, please always try to remember to record the soups that you share.
I know, this is the most challenging, I find.
to remember to do the soups.
Right, exactly. Like I gave away 3 today from past weeks.
Put it in. It doesn't matter what week.
Yeah, oh, okay. And
Yeah.
so then I'll probably have another 4 tomorrow, so I'll just add 7.
Deb, did you enter my 15 for last week?
I did not.
Enter.
I did not.
Okay, I will
I'd
enter
have to
them.
look up your information and. you know.
No, I will enter them.
Thank you. It's a different screen too, otherwise. it would-
That's fine. Thank you for checking. I just couldn't remember. I knew, I tracked them myself and I knew I wrote them down and then I didn't enter them because I don't know why. So I
So
can do it tomorrow.
Marge, what stage where are you at? Which stage now of the soup?
My soup is cooling now.
Oh.
The simmering is finished. I didn't let
Yes.
it simmer for 30 minutes. I simmered it for 25 minutes because I don't believe in following recipes. And I just
Right.
wanted it to cool a little before I put the immersion blender in. And again, since mine is a half recipe, I'm working in my, not in my taller pot.
Okay, great.
So, and I did put the basil in.
Right, okay, good. That's what I've done.
So I'm gonna take fine blend.
You cook it with the basil for a bit before you puree it, or you just start pureeing? I see Lisa shaking her head no.
I'm sorry, I missed the question. Was it about cutting up the basil?
Well, no, do I need to cook the soup with the basil for a bit before doing the puree, or just go straight to puree once I just throw it in?
No, I just throw it in. I don't think it's gonna matter. It's gonna take time to cool down anyway. I'm going to turn the sound off so I can turn on my blender. And then Deb, do you want to tell them what I found in my basement last week?
What was that?
I thought I told you. I found the food processor.
Oh, the Cuisinart, you did tell me.
I did. I just looked at it and it was like an old Cuisinart, the original Cuisinart food processor. And with the original instruction book and all that stuff, I will say, I think at least the plug is a 3-pronged, or not a 3-pronged, but it has the larger size, and I don't know what you call that, in the smaller size, as opposed to my crock pot, which predates the larger.
They're antiques.
They are antiques.
Okay. And so it says, are you gonna add any salt?
I mean, mine didn't need any. What do you guys think?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm not going to add salt. I'm sure mine will not need salt. And also, well, I'm going to taste it now. I'm sure it's going to be plenty salty. I mean, there's salt in
Right,
in everything that you put in, really.
right.
The other thing is as I said last week, when you package this stuff, it's going to be easier to put the rice in the bottom of the container and pour the soup on top, because
I agree totally on that.
yeah, it's just going to make your life easier. But I have to taste it. This is before the Worcestershire sauce.
Mine is really thick.
Is that a good thing or is it too thick?
No, I think it's good.
Okay.
I am not over pureeing. I want to have a little bit of texture here, so see how it is. It's very acidic.
Oh,
The
and
tomato.
you haven't added the Worcester sauce either, have you?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
whoops.
well, the acid from the tomatoes, it's pretty acidic. And it's crunchy because my little tomato bits are crunchy. Mm-hmm. Okay. What am I supposed to do now?
Add pepper, add rice.
The Worcestershire sauce and the pepper. Yeah.
Right.
And I'll put the rice in, I'll put the rice in the bottom. Actually, I can try it with the rice. I'll do a little rice and see what it tastes like. In the soup.
Naya, how's yours coming out?
Looking good. It's simmering.
Okay, good. Have you tasted anything yet or not yet?
I haven't tasted it yet, no,
Okay. All right, good.
but it's looking good.
Excellent.
Good soup. Okay, Worcestershire sauce. little baby basil leaves, the little ones, and put one on top of each container. Maybe I'll,
As a garnish, I think it would look nice,
yeah, I think it would be, and it'll be
particularly
nice.
if you're not going to add any cheese.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. I could sprinkle cheese on top, but then again, then it's not vegan. So, and since I went to the trouble of using a plant butter and making this
Right.
Worcestershire, I might as well keep it vegan.
Well, I have plant-based Parmesan cheese.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
I tried one of the plant-based cheeses was on sale at Giant, and I had a coupon, and I thought, well, I'll try this.
Mm-hmm.
And I
No,
was
you didn't.
really
Yeah.
disappointed. So I think that maybe it depends on what brand you're using.
Have you
Right.
tried nutritional yeast, sprinkling that?
No, but I know that it makes for very good things. I was watching a guy's grocery game last week, and someone used nutritional yeast in a cheese sauce. She was making a vegan cheese sauce, and the judges were like, "Oh, right, nutritional yeast, blah blah blah," and they loved the sauce.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I was resistant. I put it on popcorn.
Oh,
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah. Yeah,
The
I've
only
become a,
problem is it doesn't stick very well to the popcorn, so it sort of ends up in the bottom of the bowl.
oh, so you have to kind of swish it around the bowl.
Yeah, a little bit.
Um,
I have to turn my sound off so I can blend.
And if I can ask, what's the wording we're using? I did put Worcester sauce in. So what wording are we going to use for that?
We came up with contains anchovies.
you could say pescatarian, but no one will have any idea what you're talking about. I really think that the majority of people receiving your soup out of the uptown, the whatever up county hub there, are not going to care that it contains anchovies.
Yeah.
So, but they may care about the soy if there are allergies. That's, because the substitute Worcestershire had soy in it. So I will write contains soy.
Okay.
What is the Worcestershire going to do? Is it just going to make it salty, or?
So
Umami.
what I read that it gives it like an umami kind of flavor. So it's salty, but it's also kind of tart, and it's a combination of things that really gives it a better richness.
Okay.
It's in that little link that describes why you might want to come up with a vegan alternative.
Okay, now I'm going to taste it. I tasted it before the Worcestershire, and now after. We'll see if I taste any difference. It does have a different taste. I would never have attributed that to the Worcestershire sauce, but I guess that's what it is.
And it's good, right? It's
Oh,
got
yeah.
a richer flavor, right?
Yes,
More
it does.
complex.
So you didn't use the homemade, you used Worcester sauce.
No, we
No,
use
I
the
didn't.
homemade.
I used the homemade.
Oh, you used the homemade.
Yeah, because I had already gone to the trouble of using the plant butter.
Yeah.
Someone was talking about avocado butter. Was that last week on this call, or was that someone else talking to me about avocado butter? Someone said
Yeah.
it was really good.
Yeah.
I never tried it.
Okay, well, I'm going to sign off now and get some things in the freezer, hopefully, and head
Right.
out. So
Right.
thanks, Marge. That was a
Right.
great recipe. If I'm not going to drive over tomorrow morning, I will send a message.
Okay, and I'll see you
Okay.
later in the week, because I have some of your soups from last week that I'm delivering.
Yes, that was
Right.
the mega load. Okay.
Yes, I have a lot of soup in the freezer. And I have
Okay.
a lot of those freezer packs. So if anyone else needs to deliver to my house, let me know.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks,
Okay.
Marge. Bye.
Bye.
I think we're all hanging up. Thank you, Marge. Nice to cook with all of you. Everybody have a great week.
What are we doing next week,
You know,
Deb?
we may, Deb's going to be on vacation next week. So we are quite possibly taking 2 weeks off next weekend, Memorial Day.
Where are you
Yeah.
going?
I'm going to Iceland. I know, I'm really
I'm so
excited.
jealous.
Don't be jealous, but I'm very excited. I was supposed to try to go, my niece and I were gonna go last
Mhm.
July and it fell through, so we're going now. Hopefully,
Yay. Have a great time. You're going for 2 weeks?
no, like 10 days, but the second Monday is Memorial Day and the board's kind of decided that's not a great day to cook anyway. So we'll see. Right now, it's looking like we may not cook at all for 2 weeks. So we'll come up with something fantastic the following Monday, and feel free to cook any recipes that you missed while we were cooking and you weren't, and make those on the Mondays in honor of KindSoups.
You could do that, and if you bring them to my house, I will deliver them, because I'm definitely doing a delivery next week, because the Harshalom chefs are cooking next week.
Good.
So, yeah,
Are you gonna cook that corn soup again, even though lots of people cooked it, or are you gonna change it?
we're gonna cook the corn soup again. I'm going to use less light cream than I did last time, because people seem to think it was better with less cream. But I mean, the other soup, maybe if we want to cook on the 23rd, we could do that bean and barley.
Would you
that
do
white
it?
bean.
Would you do it, Marj?
Let me think about it. I have to
Ladies.
look at the
Bye.
schedule, okay?
All right, bye, everybody. Yeah,
Okay.
and I think you can use my link without me being here, but I can give you my log on if that helps.
Okay, yeah,
All right,
we'll talk
thanks.
about it.
Okay,
Okay.
thanks, Marj.
You're
Bye,
welcome.
everybody.
Bye.
I